Hello guys! This is a video about ranking Shakes and Fidget classes in a tier list, and as you can see based on the title, I will only go into detail about arena fights and will not even consider dungeons yet. So sit back, relax and don't relax. Before adding a class to a tier, I will tell you how this class performs in a fight against every other class with equal stats. For that matter, I have made lots of statistics, which are mostly based on this SF2's website. Throughout the video you will see tables showing whether the class in question would have the upper hand against a particular class or not. On screen you can now see how this is being marked on the about to be shown tables. There are 7 different symbols, and what symbol each class gets depends on the win rate. I hope that is easily comprehensible. Another important side note is that I will talk a lot about win rates, which of course is the average win rate against all 7 competing classes. Now before we start, I still have a short disclaimer about the Druid. I mostly talk about the scout version of the Druid because it is slightly stronger in PvP. Let's get started. We can go through this class very fast, as it has an incredibly low win rate against every other class except the Mage, against which it is pretty much equal, but this doesn't balance out its shortcomings. This is due to the Demon Hunter mostly relying on his ability to win any battle, and as his revive potion just has a chance of 25% to trigger. His overall win rate just reaches below 40%. So of course this class clearly deserves to be in the lowest tier. This is one of the weaker PvP classes as well, as it is very unreliable with its damage output and only has a short lifespan. The only class to which the Berserker is superior is the Demon Hunter, and further has in comparison to the Demon Hunter a far better win rate of over 45%. This fact at least secures him a spot above the Demon Hunter. The only problem with the warrior is the fact that he cannot stand any of those scout-like characters. And as there are currently 3 of 8 classes that are scout-like, his win rate of course suffers dramatically. I am also counting the Druid in this category, just so you know. Against all other classes the warrior has an advantage or is pretty much equal, but the fact that he is that useless against 3 whole classes just can't get him above a mediocre tier. So I will rank him in B tier. Okay, maybe he deserves to be around B plus tier because his win rate is slightly above 50%, but I don't want to make sub tiers just for this one class now. The Mage is equal to almost every other character, but he has a very slight disadvantage against the Assassin. I will go into further detail about why this is the case when talking about this one character individually. There is only one class the Mage counters immensely, and it obviously is the Berserker, as the Berserker takes 100% more damage in battles against mages. Overall again, just as the warrior, the Mage is only mediocre and doesn't stick out that much in PvP. So to B tier he goes as well. This is one of the most difficult classes to rank. It has incredible advantages against the Druid, Berserker and the Demon Hunter, but is similarly delicate against the Scout and Assassin, as the warrior is. You might ask yourself now why this time around he's strong against the Druid. There's one simple reason. The fireball always decreases the Druid's health by 33%, while this formula works differently for the other 2 scout-like classes. This means that the Battle Mage has huge advantages against 3 classes, while being weak against 2 and being pretty equal against the warrior and the Mage. The warrior is in most situations slightly stronger than him, but this doesn't change his win rate that much. For that reason I put the Battle Mage in A tier, for Wait, I don't want to get censored by the YouTube algorithm. So A for appetizing. The scout's biggest enemies are his siblings, funnily enough. He's generally very consistent against every class, as you can see, and mostly has advantages. But as said, it sticks out that he is slightly disadvantaged against the assassin. But don't worry, we will soon get to the reasoning of that. For now we put Scout in A tier on the side of the Battle Mage. Oh, there doesn't have to be said a lot about this class. The Druid Warrior has an equal win rate to the Warrior, and the Druid Scout is equal to the Scout. Except, is it really? No, it's not completely equal. You can see that it has a huge disadvantage against the Battle Mage, because the Battle Mage always reduces the Druid's health by 33%, while this formula works differently for the Warrior and the Scout. Oh, maybe I should also mention the fan favorite Druid Mage. The Druid Mage clearly belongs into S tier. Okay, don't take it too seriously. The Druid Mage has a far worse win rate than the Demon Hunter, so in no case you should play with it. Not PvP and not PvE, even though I said I won't talk about PvE. I just did. Sorry. Let's get back on topic. The reason why I only put the Druid in B tier is the fact that he is insanely disadvantaged against the Battle Mage, and with that is mostly pretty mediocre. So off to B tier! Oh, we finally have reached the last class. The Assassin. For this class in particular, you have to keep one thing in mind. In reality, it is difficult to impossible to be able to reach the same damage output as a Scout, as you have to find two perfect weapons to be in that aspect equal to a Scout with only one perfect weapon. And finding one perfect weapon for your level is hard enough, but two? Nearly impossible within a short period of time. And with that being said, we can now get into details why the Assassin can reach higher win rates than the Scout. In one short sentence, you could just say that the Assassin is more consistent than the Scout. He can attack twice every turn, which means that his chance of getting multiple turns without critting or the enemy dodging or blocking his attacks is lower. Overall, it just is the math of randomness, and it is difficult to explain randomness. But you should just know that in theory, the Assassin definitely has a win rate above 50% against every class. As he's very reliable, I for that matter feel forced to put him into S tier. If it was more about being realistic, he would be slightly below the Scout for me.
What if you wanted to go to heaven, but God said,
"Back, spawn of Satan!"
But as said, in theory, these are only the facts they don't want you to know. So have fun alone in S tier, you loser. Oh wait, maybe we should take a second to realize which characters in Shakes and Fidget really deserve to be in S tier. I'm talking about an old friend. Someone who always cheers you up when you are down. Someone who is always on your side and tells you when to stop. You have had enough today, mate. Come back tomorrow. But please only drink beer. This business is going down to shit and you are my only source of income. And please stop calling me your friend. The one guy who gives us free drinks no matter which time of day it is. Praise this legend as he doesn't judge your addiction. Of course, I am talking about your video game addiction, and with that another S tier would just be quitting Shakes and Fidget, as you cannot not call it an addiction. Praise to you. Wait, I totally forgot Gamble Beta as well. He's more of a weird and quiet guy. I guess he deserved to be ranked as well. I mean, he at least gave me 37 mushrooms for free. Pretty much for free. He deserves to be in S tier as well. You may disagree, but that is just because you don't properly know him yet. Now I really want to gamble again, by the way. Maybe the next video is me just gambling in the tavern again. Okay, sorry guys, I am now wasting your time. I should finally move on. This is now my finished tier list for PvP. As said, I used an arena simulator for this, so the results are pretty much based on facts. Don't hate the game, hate the player. Famous last words. Goodbye guys.